Right. Yeah. Made it through our first ad break. Oh, yeah. Gonna paint more Star Wars Legion because so I don't have too much time tonight. Got about 2.5 hours. Um, so started on him last night. Well, yesterday afternoon. Uh, Basically, only the skin and eyes are done, but because of all the problems I have with my camera, I wanted to at least base coat everything, because you can even see my hands are glaring. What the heck? I hate this camera. I hate it. Um, so I got, there's a reason I'm doing this. I already got an Obi-Wan completed, but I got two of the identical models. So I decided to turn this one into Sith Obi-Wan. Why not? Some of these models that I got doubles of, or I'm gonna have doubles of, I might take them to one of the hobby shops and just get a couple bucks for them. That might work. But most of them, you're gonna get a couple bucks for. Obi-Wan, I just figured, whatever. I'll do an alternate reality Obi-Wan. See, part of the problem is I've got these lights. I need these lights, otherwise I can't see. But it messes with the exposure settings. The way I base coated it, I just used dark neutral gray for the pants and the tunic, undershirt as well. And then coal black for the boots, the belt, the hilts of the saber. So I'm gonna mid and highlight his clothing with slate gray and then cool gray. Maybe not slate gray. Maybe I just go to neutral and cool gray. Well, yeah. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a filter of probably black one step on his tunic. And then, maybe like slate gray on his pants. At least those are my thoughts. That's what I'd be thinking. So just a reminder, no stream tomorrow. Do expect that tomorrow is going to be a longer day at work for me. But that's in part why I made sure that I streamed both yesterday and today. Just to make up. My boss from Vancouver and the new CFO of the company are coming down to the Mint. And obviously, with him being in Vancouver, I don't get a lot of FaceTime with him. So, I'm just expecting that tomorrow will be quite a busy day. So I'm just planning on not having a stream tomorrow. That's why I am here today and yesterday. Oh, damn. Now I'm getting tired. So well. Doing so well, and now I'm starting to fade. By we were doing so well, I mean before I jumped on the stream. Oh, we're good. So anybody that's been in here before, I've explained my... Let go. He ditched me. I've explained my multiple issues. One of them being that I am slowly assembling a Imperial army. All the while continuing to find more things for my Republic and Separatist armies. I just did it again. Found. There's a sculptor out there, David Jeff Miniatures. I don't remember what his name was prior. I'd found him. He's got some really cool snow-themed Imperial Legion miniatures. So like snow-themed Scout Troopers, snow-themed heater bikes, stuff like that. Printed off a whole bunch of them. Well, found a post that he had made a long time ago. This was when he got out of the sculpting. He was having an issue that many sculptors have, where people were sharing his stuff to people for free. So at one point he had quit the sculpting and he had a post basically explaining his reasons and all of that. But in it, he highlighted a couple other Legion-themed sculptures. He actually highlighted like 7 or 8. There's some really good ones in there. But like I said, I don't remember what his sculptor pseudonym was. But he's come back as David Chef. I think he's been back for a bit. Which I can tell you, as I build my Imperial army, I'll be getting more stuff from him. Um, my goal is to build like a, not necessarily Hoth, but a ice, the true Blizzard Legion. So I've got an ATST that is set aside for an ice planet. I got the snowtroopers that came with the Blizzard Force. Snowtroopers that came alone. One of the old expansion packs. I got the E-Web Blaster. And then I bought his Snow Scout Troopers and Snow Speeder Bikes. So there's like 4 speeder bikes. I don't know, a dozen, not half a dozen. Wow. A dozen Scout Troopers, Snow Troopers. And then I'm gonna, as soon as this arc whatever Starfighter is done printing on my filament printer to my left, I'm gonna start printing off my AT-AT. That's gonna be fun. But after that, I've got a dewback, old one, and they're coming out with new ones. But this David Chef is also sculpted sand troopers essentially. So like Scout Troopers wearing more like the sand cloth or whatever. Some speeder bikes like that. Not the same speeder bikes as we saw in Endor. Some other type of speeder. It's cool sculpts. So I'll get more from them. That wasn't the point of what I was bringing up. So when he listed off these other sculptors, basically saying, hey, these are others that sculpt Legion. What's up, Painty? Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Once I'm done highlighting, I'm gonna put a couple different of the one-step paints on here and do something different. So one of the sculptors he calls out, I think it's Hakusa Miniatures. On my mini factory, they only have Oriental themed miniatures, but on their Gumroad, they've got a whole bunch of Legion themed. And they sculpted, if anyone's watched the Clone Wars TV series, I think it was the first season, the Pantorans, which are these blue skin, here's Senator Chuchi from the Pantorans. They're fighting on some moon, and against the Taos. Those are the white, furry creatures. You see one in the cantina scene in A New Hope. But the clone troopers have all the snow gear, and their speeders are adapted for the snow, and, well, this guy sculpted all that. So, guess what I'm getting? Means, my Republic army is even further away from being done. That was the moral of that super long story. Not only can I buy all these cool physical prints from Atomic Mass Games, I can buy sculpts and print them off. And that's what I'm going to do. I also saw, I don't remember which, it might have been the same guy, Hakusa Miniatures, or Hakusa Studios. Yes, especially when you find sculptors that, because the one complaint I have with like Legion themed sculptors is they make an Obi-Wan sculpt, so they make whatever. It's individuals. Whereas Legion, I can buy a whole bunch of clone troopers. Which sometimes is great buying individuals. I've got probably a dozen printed miniatures from Warblade Studios that Legion doesn't make. So I've got like a Qui-Gon Jinn, I've got an old Ben, a whole bunch of Jedi from the Clone Wars that, like Kit Fisto, his apprentice, whatever his name is, Luminara Unduli. And then, of course, I can just keep printing them off as much as I want. So I'm gonna do graphite gray for his pants and black for the rest. Probably graphite gray for his undershirt as well. But that Hughes Miniatures, the other thing I found on their site, oh, I just forgot her name. Wow. Ayla Secura. The Twi'lek Jedi, the blue one. Along with I guess they're called the Star Corps. And they've got the yellow markings, and all of them just being like standard clones, but they all have the one, similar to like the ARC troopers, that pauldron on their one shoulder. So there's a bunch of sculpts for that as well. So at this point, I should just put away my Imperial sets, since I'm never going to get to them. Now, one thing with this one step, if you really want to make it pop, after it's done drying, apply edge highlights again. It's needed. As you can still see, and it'll look better as it dries, but you can still see some of the highlights that I put on there. But I love this stuff as a filter. Although now, regarding 3D prints, my resin printer might be down. I printed off 6 Legion bases, and all 6 had 8, sorry. They had printed, but once they got to the actual base part, it just pulled right off. And I thought maybe because Legion bases have the kind of the dish, and I had them printing so that the liquid could pool on the bit, the dish. Wow, words. And I knew I needed to change my FEP film. I was complaining about that last night. There's like 30-some screws on this Mars Ultra 4 Pro. I don't know what it's called. There's like 30 some screws to remove the FEP film. So I always wait till I get a failed print before I change it. So I changed that this week. Tried to reprint. Oh, that was when I thought maybe it was because I had them oriented wrong. Because the first failure I figured was the FEP film. But once I changed that, then I thought maybe my orientation was off. So then I had printed just 3 bases. There were 2 astromech droids that come with this ARC starfighter that it's on my bamboo right now. So I printed those off, as well as Kit Fisto's Mon Calamari apprentice, the one that Grievous destroyed. And oriented the bases differently. It still failed. The 3 bases failed. Same way as when they were oriented the other way. It adheres to the plate. All the supports are there, but the supports don't connect to anything. So I need to do some messing around with it, but I need some time to actually think about the problem. Just because the last thing I want to do is start changing settings, when the only thing that's changed since my last successful print is changing the FEP film. Completely forgot. Oh no, I didn't. I forgot to put the 1-step on the back of his shirt, but I did not forget to apply some color to it. I may still want to put a little more highlight on there. At the same time, I've got Imperial troops all over the place, waiting to be primed. I still have Geonosians, clone troopers, that gunship that I had printed off. So if my printer sits idle for just a little bit, that's not the worst thing in the world. Probably better that it does sit idle. Hopefully that'll make me slow down a bit. It won't, but need to. So like I said, I'm building, or printing off an ARC starfighter. It was the X-Wing looking thing from Revenge of the Sith. That first opening scene, which was amazing, by the way. Yeah, it's where they're having that space battle. They got those... The clones are flying around in them. Very cool, man, that was such a cool scene. Ah, get distracted here. Need to fix his hair. His eyes look kind of strange. I shouldn't be messing with that. Not without my magnifiers. One second. We'll let that dry for a bit. Okay. Leave those out just in case. What's next? Well, I can probably do some... I do struggle a little bit with some of the light placement on... And this isn't... I need a different, quite bright neutral gray for the boots. Alright. One thing I forgot to do. That. I don't know if Penny's still in here, but amazing streamer. Give him a follow if you're not already. Painting streamer, that is. Although he does play some video games from time to time. I think he's got a video game stream coming soonish. But I did one coat of this yesterday. This fluorescent red. I know this kind of defeats the purpose of what fluorescent colors are for, but I just love how these look on lightsabers. I'm sure I could have done like a transparent red and gotten a pretty good result. And I've seen some people paint really cool lightsaber effects, but I tried, failed, was like, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and use fluorescence. Because I like them. Like how they pop. That looks like shit. You know what? It can be fixed. The paint over. We'll try again. Okay. I think that's my problems. I'm trying to treat these boots as glossy, and they're not. Ad break. I guess we're past an hour. Well, I'm gonna take a short break, throw my laundry in the dryer in tandem with this ad break. It's not a long ad break, but gives me a little bit of time to maybe get a little more brandy too. So we're gonna take advantage. Nope. Be right back. Yeah, we're back. Uh, Forgot the cats needed to eat. Fed them. Okay, so I used dark golden brown for his hair. I want to touch up a couple little spots. That's why I prefer using black primer. Not that fixes it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me. So, I don't remember what I started with on regular Obi-Wan. I definitely started with a darker brown than what I did here. Huh. I probably use like a dark umber, since that seems to be my new favorite brown. And then maybe built into a golden brown? So it stayed dark. So yeah, it might have just been dark umber with golden brown, dark golden brown highlights. It does seem to be in line with what it looks like. Well, let's throw my magnifiers on. Yeah, it really does seem like, as of late, dark umber has just become one of my go-tos for brown shadows. And maybe I just highlight it as golden brown. I think that's what I did. O2 Obi-Wan. I did pick up another Obi-Wan. I don't know where it came from. There's a lot of old sculpts with Legion. And this is one with him with his traditional, you know, sticking his thumb out and holding his light, or sticking his hand out and pointing with the lightsaber. And it's got him with like the Clone Wars armor. So I did get a 3D printing pen. Showed up to my house this morning. Thank you, Amazon. I plan on using it to do a gap fill for my LAAT gunship that I printed off. Some of the pieces just didn't fit that well together. At first I was going to make some screw glue. But I didn't even think that that would not bond with the PLA filament. So as I was trying to figure out how to fill some of those gaps, I did a search and yeah, I did, because some of them were really stupid options. Maybe not stupid, but stuff that I definitely didn't want to mess with, like mixing sawdust with wood glue. Definitely not something I wanted to mess with. But I've got some pretty large gaps on my, between some of the pieces on that gunship. There was one piece that when it printed, it just... I don't know, good quarter of an inch that curled. And then one of the final pieces I had to put on, well, when I put the two halves together, they were kinda... It's almost like it was skewed. Oh. So I got myself a 3D print pen. It's a $30 pen. Kind of looks like it was meant for children. That was all the reviews, said it's a great beginner pen. I don't expect to make anything super fancy with it. I'm just gonna fill gaps. That's all I needed. Uh, let's see. Scanner. And then we'll just drop that graphite gray on there. Make it perfect. Go. What's up, Bruce? How the heck are you doing? Just doing some alternate reality Obi-Wan Kenobi. I had a identical sculpt. Since I already painted a legit Obi-Wan, I figured why not make the other one Sith Obi-Wan? I always forget that stuff. Anybody that is not already, give Bruce a follow. He also paints miniatures. He streams a little late. But for all you night owls, that's the place to hang out. Well, thank you, and absolutely a shout out is needed. I appreciate you coming in here. Yeah, like I said, I did a, actually, it was a couple weeks ago, I did uh, just a normal Obi-Wan, but I got one with um, the Republic starter set, and then I got one with the Heroes of the Old Republic. And they're identical sculpts, so I've got some other duplicates coming of other stuff that I'll probably try to just make a couple bucks off of on at one of the local hobby shops. What's up, Texas? Got a little bit of a different shout out, but still. Hey, what's up, Ginger? Welcome back in. How are you doing tonight? More quiet. That is not good. No, nothing's changed. According to this, I'm loud. Loud AF. It may have been... It's something with my computer. Always something with my computer. Is the music is louder than me. Oh, what the heck. So here I've been running my mouth, and no one can even hear me. Are you on PC or phone? We'll kill the music a little bit. I feel like my mic audio is pretty high. Got any mixers here? Yes, this is the Dark Side Obi. It's the only thing that I would think is I had to restart my computer. I was having issues with my camera, but none of the inputs or any of that. Let's just try to restart this real quick. 1 second. Let's see if that, no. I've got it to this mic. Yeah, nothing should have changed. Yeah, no, nothing else has changed. It should all be the same. 'Cause I had to check all that before. Oh. If there's one thing you can count on, technology problems. Gotcha. That's more important. I may have to restart the computer again after the stream. I have a history of audio issues since the beginning of time, or the beginning of my streaming history. Or do some old-fashioned plug and unplug. Yeah, it was crazy. I came home. I just streamed last night. Went to adjust my camera to start streaming, and it was frozen. So I had to restart my computer, and that may be part of why it's acting funky right now. I mean, looking at my mixers and all that, it's all the same, but of course, when I restarted it, wanted to run some updates and all that fun crap. Let's try something real fast. Come on. And well, thought I messed it all up. Is that any better? See, now I sound quieter. Yeah, I don't know if that fixed anything. Ah. I'll just talk really, really loudly. I know it is different with different, like if you're on PC or phone. I mean, I got my mic right next to me. Because I know, like, when I'm on my PC with some streamers, I can't hear their music, but then I put it on my phone and it's just fine. I'm gonna blame Twitch. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna say it's Twitch's fault. They changed something. Yeah, exactly. Plus, if I blame it on Twitch, then I don't have to try to fix it. Because I'm tired of fixing stuff. I gotta go fix my resin printer, and I don't even know what the problem is. Well, I think... Oh, shoot, I don't even have my, my OBS up. I think this guy is done. His face looks like crap on the camera, but it looks good in person. I'm actually pretty proud of it. Thank you. Appreciate that. I feel like I should do a little more highlighting after I applied that one step on his cloth, but also feeling kind of lazy about it. Speaking of technology issues, have I said that I hate this camera? I do. I really hate it. Okay, so we got about an hour for, once Monster Den Minis pops on, I'm gonna raid into there. That's a good excuse for me to go and, finish my laundry and do nothing. My favorite things to do. Or mess with my 3D printer, that's what I should be doing. So one thing I wanted to test, you guys get to watch me do some tests. Oh. Really? So that's got some pressure build up. So I want to try... I already applied this to one of them. I did 2 layers, and then I did some edge highlighting. Oh, that looks horrible. Shit. The exposure is my problem on the camera. And when I start making adjustments to it, it creates a few weird effects. Like I said, the only constant is technology issues. And death and taxes. There is not. I mean, there is a mic on this camera in front of me that is not routed to anything. Pretty much, I've got my I've got a weird setup. I've got my microphone being routed through NVIDIA Broadcast. And then NVIDIA Broadcast routes into Voice Meter Potato, which is like an audio mixer software. It's what allows me, like right now, I've got Seether in my ear. And you guys got, I think Call of Duty soundtrack. Like a lot more came out here than I thought. So I know these cameras do have microphones, but I've got all that off. So what I want to try with this, I have no idea if this is going to work because this is a little more of an opaque than a standard contrast paint. But I am going to attempt what they call a double slap shot. Although I may use a white blue instead of white for that dry brush. We will see. But I do feel like once this dries, it dries a lot. It's a darker, well, darker than what I'd like for white armor. It is bright slate gray from the new Series 2 one-step paints from Monument Hobbies. They just released official release was last Wednesday. Most everything I do is now Monument Hobbies. I'm kind of addicted. Yeah, it is. But my hope is that I can use it as the full color. In the past, prior to this set 2 coming out, I would do this whole zenithal priming and dry brushing, and then mix the one-step special sauce with white blue, and that worked out very well. It's just I don't want to do the mixing, so yeah, Monument Hobbies has a great white. Sometimes I use it. That was actually how they got started, was their white. They tried to get somebody to take it. Army Painter was who was sponsoring him at the time. They did not want it. They hadn't really started digging into the higher quality painting. But yeah, that was kind of how, I think he said he did it on stream one time 10 years ago, and everybody wanted it. All the people watching the stream, that is. But I really like this white blue. It's got just enough pigments in it to give it a good off-white color. Yeah, I cut my teeth on ski paints by Army Painter. Started barely branching out into, like, I've got a handful of Vallejo paints, a few AK paints, not really any Citadel. I've got a bunch of the Citadel effects paints, but none of their I think only one of their actual paints. Well, I got one of their contrast paints because I needed another gray. Way back in the day. Yeah. Well, that's what I was doing with this one. I built up, dark gray to a kind of a brighter gray, and then I used two different contrast paints between his pants and his the tunic. I used to do a lot of what they call slap chop. But I just felt like that wasn't as challenging. I wasn't growing my skills, I guess. But yeah, once I found Monument Hobbies, it was a wrap. Now they got me, and they got my wallet. I mean, I guess there's worse places to spend money. There's worse places I could be putting my money in. Oh yeah! Is that the, I can pull it up in a second. That was the Leonardi. Work. It was not work. Oh yes, Leonardi. So, yeah, but it was fun work, so it wasn't work. Work's not work if it's fun. If you're having fun at work, it's not true work then. I know, that's some corporate BS jargon. You guys are laughing, you're not working hard enough. Yeah, so Texas Warsmith is part of Texas Wargaming, and they make those miniatures. I posted this link a second ago. Texas, if you want to drop your link again. The miniature that I have painted up is kind of a fun one off of the Artie Showdown game. Artie is the armadillo, but he's actually the sheriff. And it's like a Wild West themed. Once I finish dropping this on, I've got all the miniatures, almost all of them, next to me. But there are some really cool so Artie the armadillo, who's the sheriff. You got Harry the horned toad. I should do this guy. This guy's gonna be fun too. And you got the Diamondback gang. Yeah, Ginger, if you stick around, in about 40 minutes, we're gonna raid into Monster Den Minis. He's painted all these, and amazing painter. Had a fun stream. But this one was my favorite. Once the sleeping peon is out of the way. This is Doc the Jackalope. I painted him like Doc Holliday from Tombstone. He was fun. I love it. I gotta fix that card now that I know that it's a card. I have to fix it. It will get fixed. I just did not know that it was a card. I had no clue what it was. The Ed at least asked you, and yeah, his whole. The only thing is the belt buckle is a little questionable, but he was fun. That was a fun miniature to do. The whole anthropomorphic Wild West theme is pretty cool. And there's two others. I still got them in my priming booth. Butch the Badger, who's the leader of the Diamondback gang, and Kitty the King Snake, who's a saloon girl, who's with Artie. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. There was the 30-second ad. So I don't know what you guys thought. But yeah, there's Butch the Badger, leader of the Diamondback gang, and Kitty the King Snake, saloon girl, who's with Artie. It is a skirmish game made by ours truly, Texas Warsmith. And they'll be showcasing it off at ReaperCon in less than 2 weeks, right? Is that right, or is it a little over 2? When's Labor Day? It's Labor Day weekend, right? That's like the first week in September. So yeah, about 2.5 weeks. I may still have to do some form of edge highlighting on this. Although that looks a lot better for white armor. Oh well. I was hoping to not have to mess with any of that, but I'm gonna have to do on some of the higher points just to get that white armor look. Oh well. Okay. Just paint the chair. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do with my life? Well, we've got Anakin here from Revenge of the Sith. By the way, anyone that doesn't know, just paint the chair is a way of saying just freaking do it. There's a whole story behind it with one of the girls that works for me. Yeah, it's this was Legion like original, one of the Commander expansions, because then there's this one which was Heroes of the Clone Wars box. And this is more like his kind of what he wore in the Clone Wars TV show for most of it. I dig that one. Oh, and let's not forget, I've got Rex. Phase 1 Rex. I really should get this guy finished. He's got a whole bunch of clones waiting on him. They're just waiting. I'll have to wash this out better, but okay. So I think for now we can put away our one-step paints. Oops. So we'll start getting some headway on this guy. And I think this is garbage now. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In about 35 minutes, I'll be raiding into Monster Den. So, I'll do my usual quiet lurk there. Except for Marvels. Yeah, anybody in here, In about 35 minutes, we'll be raiding over to Monster Den Minis. Oh, you're working on Chunky Butch. I wanted to print some bases off for him. Well, for him and Kitty, and there's a few other miniatures that I need bases for. But that's when my printer decided to go kaput. So I do need to mess with that. But, yeah, anybody that, stick around, in about 35 minutes, we will raid into Monster Den Minis. If you're not already following. Okay, so they are 40mm. Yeah, the original ones, that I got, were actually, they're actually Legion bases, that I put them on. I had a bunch of extra Legion bases from the, it was the Vital Assets set or whatever it was. They had all these, like, bombs and crates and stuff like that. And they gave bases to each one, which I was like, I'm not putting a bomb on a base. I don't even want to paint the bomb. That was where she came from. Senator Tupi. And there was, the Nemoidian, the weird green guys from Phantom Menace. What was his name? Like, I don't remember. Something Rune Hosko. But yeah, so I had those extra bases and I used them for the Artie Showdown miniatures. Even though they can all stand on their own, I just like to base stuff. I like the base. All about the base. No trouble. But yeah, that's, whatever reason, my printer just decided, no. Here we are. Not sure what changed. I thought the original failure was because the FEP film needed to be changed. You didn't hear my gripe about that. There's like 30-some screws that have to be removed to change the film. So I pushed it off as long as possible. Basically, once I get a failure, then I change the FEP film. Because my printer tells me that I need to change it, but I just click mandatory print and it goes through. So I thought that was the original reason why. Changed the FEP film earlier this week. Had another failure with the same print. Thought maybe it was because the these bases being cupped, the way I had them aligned, I thought maybe the resin was getting in, pooling up in the base and creating too much weight. So I had printed 3 more off, flipped them upside down, and same result though. But, you know, prior to me changing the FEP film, as far as I know, nothing else changed. That's always kind of my troubleshooting is, well, what changed last? So before I go in and start making changes to, like, settings, I want to see if there's something else I'm missing. And it's weird how they're failing. The supports are there. The raft or whatever is adhered to the plate, but the entire base is stuck in the bed or in the vat. And the last print I did, I only did 3 bases, and then I threw a 2 astromech droids and Kid Fisto's Mon Calamari Apprentice. And that one had a similar issue. The astromech droids printed just fine. But the Jedi Apprentice, same deal. It adhered to the plate, but then the supports broke midway on his leg, and his leg kind of went up. And with this, I've got the Elegoo Mars 4 Ultra. When I first got it, I had a whole bunch of problems with the prints, but once I made some changes to the settings, I haven't had any problems since, other than having to change the FEP film. So I haven't really had to do a lot of troubleshooting on this one. But, as I said, the only constant? Technology problems. Alright, Ginger. Appreciate you popping in. Catch you on the next, which will be Saturday. No stream tomorrow. So Saturday morning around 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You have a good night, man. Yeah, I'm feeling the fatigue hitting as well. Thought I was, well, at the beginning of the stream, I was getting kind of tired. Then I was fine, and now I'm getting tired again. I'm gonna have to probably run some calibration tests. Then try another print. And I just realized if I get this these sculpts that I was talking about earlier, that are the snow planet clone troopers. This is the second Commander refs I'm painting. Hey, that's white blue. So I got mine even Hansa. He just held up white blue for the camera. One of my favorite paints. Is, hey, white blue. So if I get those sculpts, it'll come with the Rex, but a snow version of them, or snow armor. 3 Rexes. If that's not a first world problem, I don't know what is. So close. Need a little more paint. with some of the earlier clones like this that I did, I left a lot more of that slate gray showing, and the end result was I felt that some of them were just too dark for white armor. So this one, I'm leaving barely any slate gray showing. Really, it's just going to be in some of the cracks or places like under his little tunic or whatever it's called. Alright. So I got 2 more layers to throw on. Bright neutral gray, white blue, but I think that's a good place to stop. And call it a night. We're going to raid Monster Den Minis. I think he just went live. Thought I saw him just go live. He's somewhere. I know he just went live. I know it. There it is. Yeah, he just started a minute ago. So we're gonna go ahead right over there. Stick around. Give him a follow if you're not. It's a fun stream. You want to be there. So remember, no stream tomorrow. I will be working a little bit later, so no stream. But I will be back Saturday morning before 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then next week, Wednesday's in the air, but Thursday I'll be back probably by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Friday by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Saturday by 9 a.m. So, no guarantees I will not continue working on Captain Rex. But tonight I do need to get some 3D printing stuff fixed. So, thank you for everybody that hung out. Give a follow when we get over, and join in the painting and marble fun. As always, stay mad, stay angry,